Welcome back to our weekly freelance check-in and Happy New Year. If you are like me, you are starting the new year off strong. You're wanting to set resolutions and goals and make this the year that you succeed. And honestly, I have been struggling with, is this a year that I'm going full tilt? Or am I at that point where I need to start looking for a backup plan? I'm at that in-between stage now that I'm sure a lot of entrepreneurs, business owners, freelancers experience, where the adrenaline's kind of worn off. You're questioning, am I going to fully commit to this? You are at that crest. Things are working out well enough that you're buying some time to try this a little bit longer, but you're not steady, you're not consistent, you're not over that hump. It's not really the panic phase, but it's not the success phase popping champagne either. So this is a moment where you will realize that these next few months are going to be very important. And if you're like me, you're probably struggling with feeling busy is not really being successful and it's not moving the needle. You're showing up, you're doing the work, you're making a little bit of money, enough to survive, but you're not comfortable and you still feel scattered because you're having to do so many things. You're having to do social media, you're having to do outreach, you're having to do marketing, you're having to make the product, you're having to send invoices, get paid, and do accounting. I mean, it's a lot to deal with and it's easy to be overwhelmed. And if you're like me, you either be overwhelmed and stressed or you kind of shut down and don't do anything. So the change I'm making in 2026 is I am getting some help. I am lucky enough that my brother-in-law, John, offered in the kindest way to help me get my shit together. For the past 2 weeks, we started doing daily check-ins and he is helping me make my SMART goals. So this is really helping me narrow my focus and it's holding myself accountable. I want to, at the end of the day, send an email with everything on our list crossed off and ideas for what we can do tomorrow to add more things to the list that really move the needle. And he is really helpful in putting those blinders up and saying, is that really going to help us? Is that going to provide value for these goals? Or is it something that maybe we push aside and we focus on other things? I did something similar a couple years ago with music production specifically, but at the time there was not this pressure. I had a backup plan, I had a job, and honestly, I did some of the things, it worked, but I just kind of fizzled out and I didn't follow through. And now we're at that stage where it is nut up or shut up. So the biggest lesson that I'm trying to learn after I'm getting this help is that it's not about the hustle and looking busy and doing all this stuff. It's about clarity. It's about focus. It's about moving intentionally with goals. As you can see, I set some goals in our last check-in for last year and I didn't really accomplish them because I didn't have every step of the SMART goal listed and I was not working consistently towards them. I'm getting more clarity and more focus as we start the new year. So if you're anything like me, if you're trying to do a freelance journey or music or starting a business, definitely follow along. Let me know in the comments, what are your 2026 goals and what are you doing to make this the best year ever?